YouTube. Today is day 3 of 12 days of journal writing tips. And the tip today is the power of journaling. As a child, like I was, or for a child, if there's a child in your life that you like to journal about. This is the journal that I received from my mom in 1977. My mom raised my brother and I up on her own, and I was a person who really desired to know who my father was, and I never met him, have found very little about him, and I grew up in a home in which my mom never really talked about him, good or bad, so it was as though he did not even exist, and that was really hard for me. My mother was very wise to give me this journal because I used it as a place that I could express all of those feelings. I didn't talk about a lot of them to anybody. I didn't know who to talk to, but I wrote about it. And even at the very beginning, I have what I wanted to do when I grow up. And my heart just always wanted a father. And it never turned out that I found my father, but I did marry a guy who's been an incredible father and a wonderful husband. But writing those thoughts and that hunger for a father over these years, I was able to deal with it because of this journal. This was my best friend. This is what I would write it in, just my journal. And that is so powerful. And then, if you didn't have one as a child, because you're probably an adult now, and certainly if you're a child watching this video, please start journaling. And then if you have a child that doesn't want to journal, the other thing you can do is journal for that child. These also too are my childhood journals, my personal childhood journals. That I wrote things for me. But later on, after being married for several years, we finally began to have children, and I decided to do a journal for each child. So this one is about my son. That's why the son is there. And it has been absolutely amazing to see his life grow. I wrote this a couple of years after he was born. I began to write it. And I'm just really overwhelmed by just his growth. My dog is seeing something, so she might bark in a minute. But this has been wonderful. From the time he was born to currently he is 17. So to see that growth in him is absolutely amazing. I used it to talk about what he's doing in life, but also my hopes and prayers for him. I would write them. I have written them down in this book, and it is powerful to see those things happen. And then this one is for my daughter. It actually started off for myself, and then I was writing things about our marriage, and then it ended with just about her. And so I have things like the first time I fed her, things that she liked to do. She was one of these young ladies she was one of these little girls that did everything opposite. So she, instead of going down a slide, she always had to go backwards. So just little things like that, and how she was just a very unique individual. My daughter actually has high-functioning Asperger's, and when she was young, it was such a challenge because I couldn't find, or I did not feel connected to other moms that had so-called normal kids. But to see her now, it's life-changing. She's in college. She's following her passion that she's wanted to ever since she was 9 years old. She has a great group of friends, and she has great discernment. She's a believer in Christ, and is just loving life. And this journal is my constant reminder of those blessings of just her life. So I strongly encourage you to journal, but to journal for your inner child. If you're an adult that has some things that you need to write about as a child, write from your inner child. Or if you have a child in your life that you want to write about, please journal for them. This is a priceless thing to have. It is unreplaceable. And you're watching this video because you are interested in journaling. So I encourage you to keep on journaling and to treasure that time. It is therapy for you. It's therapy for whoever you're writing about. So thank you so much for stopping by. And be sure to stop by tomorrow for journaling tip day number 4. Thanks so much for stopping by. See you soon.